If you're married, your Social Security decision is not just about your check. It can decide how much your spouse lives on later. Two couples retire on the same Tuesday in 2026. Both have worked 30-plus years. Both have nearly identical Social Security earnings records. Both file for benefits within a week of each other. 20 years later, one of those couples has collected $287,000 more in Social Security income than the other. The couples are not different. Their earnings are not different. What is different is one decision they each made in the months leading up to filing. One couple coordinated, the other did what felt natural. That gap is real. It is measurable. It is documented by the Social Security Administration's own claiming data, and almost no couple watching this video is currently planning around it. If you are married, divorced after at least 10 years of marriage, or widowed, you have access to a set of Social Security claiming options that no single person can use. These options are not loopholes. They are not tricks. They are built directly into the law and into the SSA's own claiming systems. They have existed for decades. The reason couples leave $50,000 to $300,000 on the table is not that the rules are hidden. The reason is that the SSA does not coordinate your claiming for you. The agency processes your application. It does not optimize it. The person responsible for the optimization is the person sitting in the chair you are sitting in right now. By the end of this video, you will know the 3 coordinated claiming strategies that produce the largest household lifetime income for married couples. The single mistake that almost every couple makes in the year leading up to filing, and the worksheet you can complete together this weekend to identify which strategy fits your situation, worth flagging up front. The rules covered here apply to anyone who has ever been married for at least 10 years, even if the marriage ended in divorce, and to anyone whose spouse has died. If that includes you, this video is for you too. To understand why married couples leave so much money on the table, you have to understand a feature of Social Security that the SSA never advertises, and most financial advisors never explain in detail. It is called the survivor benefit. When one spouse in a married couple dies, the surviving spouse stops receiving 2 checks and starts receiving 1. The check they receive is the higher of the 2 benefits the couple had been collecting, not the sum, the higher one. Read that again. The surviving spouse keeps the larger check and loses the smaller one entirely. This is not punishment. It is how the system was designed, and it creates an enormous, often overlooked planning opportunity. Consider a worked example using realistic 2026 numbers. Couple A, the husband earns more. His benefit at full retirement age would be $20,800 a month. The wife's benefit at her full retirement age would be $400 a month. They both claim at age 62 because it feels safe and they want the money sooner. His check is reduced to $960. Hers is reduced to $980. Household income, $2,940 a month. Couple B, identical earnings record, same ages. The wife claims at 62 to provide bridge income. The husband, the higher earner, delays until 70. His check at 70 is $3,472. Her check is $980. Household income at age 70, $4,452 a month. That is $1,512 more per month than couple A is receiving. Now, fast forward. Both husbands die at 80. Couple A's widow receives $1,960 a month for the remaining 10 to 15 years of her life. Couple B's widow receives $3,472 a month for the remaining 10 to 15 years of her life. If that widow lives to 90, the gap over those 10 years is $181,440. That is in addition to the income gap that existed while both spouses were alive. Combined household lifetime difference often exceeds $300,000. Same earnings record, same household, different decision. Married couples have 3 foundational claiming strategies. Each one fits a specific household profile. Most couples never identify which one applies to them. Strategy 1. The higher earner delays this. Is the most common optimal strategy for couples with a significant income gap. The higher earning spouse delays claiming Social Security as long as possible, ideally to age 70, to maximize both the monthly benefit during their lifetime and the survivor benefit for whichever spouse outlives the other. The lower earner can claim at any time, including 62, depending on cash flow needs. Why this works: the higher benefit becomes the survivor benefit. In heterosexual couples, women outlive their husbands by an average of 5 years per SSA period life tables. Coordinating the higher earner's claim age is essentially the most cost-effective longevity insurance available to a household. Every additional dollar in the higher earner's monthly check protects the surviving spouse for potentially decades. Strategy 2. Both delay when possible. When both spouses have substantial earnings records and reasonable longevity expectations, both delaying can produce the largest household lifetime income. This strategy requires a bridge income source, retirement account withdrawals, part-time work, a paid-off home, but the long-term payoff is significant. 2 checks growing at 8% a year, guaranteed, is mathematically difficult to beat with any other investment available to retirees. Strategy 3. Split strategy with spousal coordination. This is the most flexible and often the smartest for couples with mixed health profiles or mixed work histories. One spouse, usually the lower earner or the one with a health concern, claims earlier. The other delays to 70. The household has bridge income. The higher benefit grows. The survivor protection is maximized. This is a strategy most couples should at least model before deciding. When each strategy is wrong, strategy 1 is wrong when the higher earner has a serious health condition. Delaying produces no value if the delayer dies before age 80. Strategy 2 is wrong when the couple has no realistic bridge income source. Both spouses with no income for 8 years is a recipe for portfolio damage and emotional stress that destroys the gains from delaying. Strategy 3 is wrong when the income gap between spouses is enormous. In those cases, the math nearly always favors strategy 1. The right answer depends on your specific situation. The wrong answer is to default to whatever feels natural without comparing the alternatives side by side. Spousal benefits are one of the most underused features of Social Security. They allow a spouse to claim a benefit based on their partner's earnings record, up to 50% of the partner's full retirement age benefit, even if the claiming spouse has little or no work history of their own. Current spouses. A current spouse can claim a spousal benefit if the working spouse has already filed for their own benefit and the claiming spouse is at least 62. The spousal benefit is up to 50% of the working spouse's full retirement age benefit. If the claiming spouse claims before their own full retirement age, the spousal benefit is reduced for early claiming. Divorced spouses. A divorced spouse can claim a spousal benefit on an ex-spouse's record under specific conditions. The marriage must have lasted at least 10 years. The claiming spouse must currently be unmarried. The claiming spouse must be at least 62. The working ex-spouse must be at least 62, though they do not need to have filed yet. That last point is one of the few areas where the rules favor the divorced spouse over the current spouse. Important note, claiming a divorced spouse benefit does not affect what your ex-spouse receives, does not reduce their benefit by a single dollar and does not require their cooperation or even their notification. Widows and widowers. A widow or widower can claim a survivor benefit as early as age 60 or age 50 if disabled. The survivor benefit is up to 100% of what the deceased spouse was receiving or was entitled to receive at the time of death. The survivor benefit and the survivor's own retirement benefit are calculated separately, which creates a powerful strategy called the survivor switch. The survivor switch works like this. A widowed person at 60 claims the survivor benefit, even though it is reduced for early claiming, while letting their own retirement benefit grow, with delayed retirement credits until age 70. At 70, they switch to their own benefit, which is now significantly higher. This two-step claim is fully permitted. It is built into the SSA's own claiming systems, and it routinely produces tens of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income for surviving spouses. Almost no widow claims this way without specific planning, because almost nobody tells her she can. One specific mistake appears in the year. Before filing for roughly 7 out of 10 couples, the mistake: they make their claiming decisions separately. She decides when she will file. He decides when he will file. They might compare notes at dinner. They might both visit the SSA office on the same Tuesday, but the actual decision-making happens in two separate heads, not one shared analysis. This is the financial equivalent of two pilots flying the same plane while looking at different instrument panels. The plane lands somewhere, rarely where either pilot intended. The fix is simple, and almost nobody does it. Sit down together. Pull both SSA statements. Map out 3 or 4 scenarios for joint claiming. Look at the lifetime household income under each. Make the decision as a household, not as two individuals who happen to share an address. When couples actually do this exercise, the most common outcome is that they discover their current default plan. Both claim at 62, or both claim at 67, is roughly the worst of the available options. The discovery often takes less than 90 minutes. The change in lifetime income from making the discovery is routinely above $50,000 and frequently above $200,000. Mary Beth Franklin, a widely cited Social Security planner who has covered claiming strategies in Investment News and Kiplinger for years, has written that the single most expensive habit in retirement planning is treating Social Security as an individual decision in a household where It is fundamentally a household decision. The point is one I have heard echoed by every independent retirement researcher who works on this question. A few specific household profiles require their own analysis. Same-age couples with similar earnings. If both spouses are the same age and both have full earnings histories, the math depends almost entirely on health and life expectancy. Both delay if both expect long life. Use a split strategy otherwise. Couples with a large age gap. If one spouse is significantly older, the older spouse's claim has bigger implications for the survivor benefit. The older, higher earning spouse should generally delay if there is a meaningful age gap, because the younger spouse will be the survivor for many years, and the higher check protects them throughout that period. Divorced spouses. If you were married for 10 or more years and you are not currently remarried, you may be entitled to a spousal benefit on an ex-spouse's record without affecting what they receive in any way. The SSA does not proactively advertise this option to claimants. You have to ask. The phrase to use when you call is, "I want to file a claim for divorced spouse benefits on my former spouse's record." Widow remarriage. A widow or widower who remarries before age 60 loses access to survivor benefits on the deceased spouse's record. A widow or widower who remarries after age 60 keeps the survivor benefit. The age 60 rule is one of the most important and least known provisions in the Social Security system, and it has shaped real remarriage decisions in ways most people never realize. Same-sex couples. Since the 2015 Obergefell decision, same-sex married couples have full access to all spousal and survivor benefit provisions, including for years of marriage that occurred before 2015 in states that recognize the marriage at that time. If you are in a same-sex marriage and you have not yet filed, you may have benefits available that you have not been told about. Take a single sheet of paper, divide it into a 4-column table, label the columns, both at 62, both at 67, higher delays to 70 with lower at 62, and both delay to 70. Fill in the monthly household income for each scenario. Multiply by 12 for annual household income. Multiply by 20 for rough lifetime household income if both spouses live to 82. Multiply by 25 for rough lifetime household income if both live to 87. Add one more row at the bottom. Survivor income after first death. That is the monthly income the survivor receives for the rest of their life, which is the larger of the two checks under each scenario. This row is often the deciding factor in the whole comparison. When couples actually fill in this worksheet, the right answer usually becomes obvious within the first read. The wrong answer. Both claim at 62 because it feels safe. Almost always shows up as the lowest column on the page. The right answer for most couples with reasonable health and a meaningful income gap is column 3. The right answer for highly affluent couples with strong longevity is often column 4. There is no perfect answer that fits every household. There is a process that produces the right answer for your household. And the process takes a Saturday afternoon. The $50,000 number in the title of this video is the floor for an average couple. The actual amount left on the table by couples who do not coordinate is often double or triple that figure. The Center for Retirement Research has documented this gap across multiple studies over more than 20 years. Coordinated couples win. Uncoordinated couples leave money behind. 3 action steps before you close this video. Action 1. Pull both SSA statements, yours and your spouse's. If your spouse is in another room, ask them to grab theirs before you do anything else. You can find current statements at say Gov inside the My Social Security account. Action 2. Block out 2 hours this Saturday. Fill out the 4-column worksheet together. Talk through what you see. The conversation matters as much as the numbers. Action 3. If your situation has any unusual element, large age gap, complicated work history, a non-social security pension, a prior marriage of 10 or more years, schedule a 90-minute call with a fee-only retirement planner who specializes in Social Security claiming. The cost of one consultation is usually below $500. The value of getting the decision right is usually somewhere between $50,000 and $300,000. In the comments, answer one question. Are you currently planning to coordinate your claim with your spouse, or are you each making your own decision separately? The answer to that one question predicts the size of the gap your household is about to leave on the table. Share this video with one married couple you care about. If they fix their plan because of what they learn here, that single share might be worth $100,000 to them. That is the kind of share that matters. Next video, Tuesday, covers Medicare and the 3 biggest enrollment mistakes new retirees make in their first year. Subscribe so it lands in your feed. See you then.